Hello, everybody. Welcome back to We're Down South. As always, I'm joined with the Mackham Down South, just like me, Dan Humphrey. How are you doing, Dan?
Very good, Matthew. How are you?
Yeah, as you can see, I'm really happy. And also, we have the host of the Red and White podcast and the prettiest boy in the city of Sunderland, it's Jack Dodds.
I feel a bit concerned now, Matthew. I might have to leave. I tell you what, though, I'm quite shocked at that news. The 8 players haven't who can't play with us tonight. I don't know what to say about it.
Yeah, so we've just seen here a club statement from Sunderland AFC on Twitter, just saying now that we've had. Yeah, I mean, it was a rumour on Roker Report saying that, I don't know, I think they thought it was Maguire, McGeady, Wyke and Power. That's 4 players that they thought, and now we're without 8.
Important players as well.
Yeah, I mean, there could be maybe 4 players with the virus, but another 4 who have to self-isolate because they've been in close contact. But yeah, we could have a very different team coming out tonight to play. But yeah, I mean, we can get onto this a little bit later on. But obviously, starting off Saturday, Lincoln. Jack, you want to start us off what you thought?
It was just nice to watch us, you know. At no point did I ever feel I don't know. It just felt nice to watch us comfortably win a game of football. You know, plenty of goals scored, decent performance. You know, Jack Diamond getting on the score sheet. Charlie White got 2. So many positives to take. It's a feeling we don't normally get, and we haven't really had that feeling since about the last time we played Lincoln. Really, we probably have to go back that far. One thing I would say, however, though, that concerned me a little bit was how easily the game could have went the other way. Lincoln had 2 really easy chances in like the first 15 to 20 minutes, and we got a penalty, which is a bit controversial. I'm not one to criticise referees' decisions, but I wouldn't, you know, I'm not going to say which way I think it was, but you know, you could very easily make a case for it not being a penalty, and with them having 2, you know, clear-cut chances really in the first 15 to 20 minutes, it was just a little bit concerning that they did go through. It was a bit concerning, sorry, that they missed those and we ended up taking the lead after that. And my mind just keeps thinking, well, if they put those 2 chances away, you know, maybe we don't get that penalty. We could have got battered. But you know, yeah, it's all if buts and maybes. So you know, but I was still buzzing with the result, buzzing with the performance, and really looking forward to tonight against Wimbledon now. And I've got a lot of faith in the lads now.
Yeah, well, I think, yeah, well, as you say, the game could have gone the other way, and I think after the game, Lee Johnson touched on that his tactics of the high press. He said one risk that of the high press you can get countered very easily, and obviously, I mean, I didn't even watch the game, so I didn't even see.
Like,
I've seen all the goals and that and the main highlights, but I didn't see those, like, pretty much Lincoln's chances, and I've been told that we could have been 2-0 down.
I think the first one was from a corner, or one of them was from a corner, and then the other one wasn't, or might have been, but they just broke. And we only had 2 people back. I think it was Ledbetter and McFadzean for one of them, and then I want to say Flanagan put it. Yeah, then the next time Flanagan went to put a tackle and missed it, and they got through. But it was just quite concerning where, you know, you would put money on a forward, you know, for one of the better teams in the league to put both of those chances away. Yeah,
Dan, what did you think of the game?
Oh, well, same really. There was not one player on the pitch I thought played badly. Do you know what I mean? Everyone put in a solid shift. As I was saying, they should have scored 2 early doors, but I think in this league you've got to take risks because the players that we're coming up against just aren't all that either, and we've got to take risks to make, and then we get the chances. But yeah, I think Lee Johnson knows that we're more open at the back now, but he wants to play more attacking football, and I think that's what we want to see. And that does leave gaps at the back. But I think, to be honest with you, we've just got to take those chances.
Yeah, I think it was interesting when we saw the starting lineup for the Lincoln game, because immediately the first player we sort of look at and go, oh wow, he's in the starting 11, it's Jack Diamond. Now, what's your guys' opinion on Jack Diamond? Dan, we'll start with you again.
Started off a bit shakily. I think it was one of the chances he gave the ball away, which led to one of the clear-cut chances. But I mean, I thought he was brilliant on Saturday. He's running at defenders, just running with a bit of pace. It's the first time in donkey's years we've had someone who's got the ball, done a few skills, run straight at the defenders, and he's won a penalty. That was his first moment of the game. Obviously, he scored that beautiful goal as well, and he just looked so effortless when that goal. Took his time, cut inside, left foot, weak foot, put it in top corner, easy as you like. And it was very nice to see one of the academy boys shining finally. And I think it was the right decision to take him off at half time, because we were comfortable in the game, and he was on the yellow, and he's a bit of a maniac player. He reminds me of Chris Maguire a bit. He can get carried away, I guess, but that's what you want to see. I guess you want to see a bit of passion. He definitely got that.
Yeah, it's a spot on. Jack Diamond.
I think Matthew touched on it there when he said elegance. He seems to run at players with ease, and I think Jack Diamond offers us something that we haven't had so far this season, which is a player going forward who's got pace. When you got pace, you can really hurt teams. I think he's also got a real initiative going forward. A criticism of Gooch of mine, which although he's got better at it, is he still seems to be a bit hesitant going forward, where Jack Diamond doesn't have that. He just throws caution to the wind and goes to try and make a chance. And that's what you need in attacking players. A defender needs to be conservative. Midfielders sometimes just need to keep the ball. But when you're a winger in a 4-3-3, you need to have that just raw initiative to go forward and create, to go forward and commit a man to take that shot, to take that chance, which he just doesn't. Which other players we just don't seem to have, and that's not a criticism of them. They just don't provide that. They provide different things. And I think looking back at these two performances, you'd say that so far this season we've been crying out for a player like Jack Diamond to come into the team and just offer us that something different. He's a real attacking outlet. Now when we're going forward and we've got the ball and we're trying to make things happen, we're going to instantly look to Diamond. We're going to instantly look to him to create the chance to make something happen. Which it's nice to have that, where I feel as if we've lacked that this season. Is like he could be a go-to. I know McGeaney's came back, but why not have two? That's how I see Diamond as, when we've got the ball in the midfield or the defence. He can be that first outlet, and we can take a risk, and it's going to work sometimes, and that's when that's what you need to score in every game. Is that player who is just going to take a risk sometimes, and that's what he does, and I really appreciate that in him.
Yeah, no, exactly what you said is what I think what Lee Johnson said. I don't know if you've listened to the Sunderland AFC podcast or BBC Radio Newcastle, but afterwards Nick Barnes was interviewing Lee Johnson, and he said the reason for starting Jack Diamond in the team is that he feels Jack Diamond is a player that can stretch the play, and not a lot of players currently in the Sunderland squad have that, who can do non-stop sprinting, and he feels like he puts Jack Diamond in the team to sort of speed the game up, speed the other players up when he's taking the ball forward constantly. And as you say, yeah, Gooch quite hesitant to always take the ball forwards, and maybe possibly that's because Gooch has been restricted at right wing back at times by Parkinson. Same time, I think Jack Diamond also in his interview, he said he was sort of put a right wing back, and that's not really his favoured position. He likes playing a bit more further up.
He's a forward, isn't he? I made this point on my podcast. I said he's not a defender. He's not even a midfielder. He's a forward. And when you're playing right wing back, you've got defensive responsibilities. You've also got a responsibility to link up with the midfield. But that's not his game. That's maybe Luke O'Nine's game. But Jack Diamond's game is just getting forward and having that raw initiative and using his tools, which is his pace, and I would say his confidence going forward. And that doesn't suit someone playing right wing back. To get the most out of him, you're gonna have to play him, in a front three or just off a striker or something like that.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And I think one thing as well, Lee Johnson said, is the way he wants to play the high press play. When he first came in, he wasn't sort of thinking that the players sort of suited that style. But then he's brought Jack Diamond in, and he's actually seen, do you know what, one of these players can do what I want them to do. And he's actually said as well, this is a player that I thought I needed to get in January, but it turns out we've actually already got one. So we don't need to get that person.
Yeah.
Jack Diamond.
Yeah.
So that's what he's already found. within his sort of first week at Sunderland. But yeah, no, it's good performance from Jack Diamond on Saturday. Another great performance by a Sunderland player, and a player who sort of surprised us after his previous 2 seasons at the club is Charlie Wyke. Now, Charlie Wyke is up to 7 league goals. I mean, that's already more than he did the whole of
in
last
15
season.
games. Do you know Will Griggs got 8 since he joined Sunderland?
That is ridiculous. I mean, I don't even see Will Grigg might start tonight, so yeah, he might get his chance.
He might have to.
He might have to. But yeah, Charlie Wyke with a brace. I can't believe it. Can't believe that. Dan, what did you think of Charlie Wyke on Saturday?
Well, that has to be his first brace for the club, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure. I don't remember him scoring 2 before.
In the league. Yeah.
But he seems completely changed this season. And what you want a striker to do is put the ball in the back of the net. And I always say, I don't care whether you can do all the skills or whatever. If you can score goals, and I'll happily have you in the team. And I just hope he continues to do that, because he's just been brilliant. I think he's been brilliant this season. I don't know what's changed or why he's improved so much, but he was awful the last 2 years, and I'll take responsibility. I slated him a lot. You know,
He did.
I thought he was weird. I know you did as well, but proved us wrong this season, and long may it continue, because he seems a great lad, and I hope he does well for the club, because I really like him.
Exactly, Jack.
Basically, what Matthew said. I think when you're saying like what's changed this season, do you think that the lack of fans might have actually gave him a bit of freedom? Because I mean, before he came to us, he was what, on about how many goals did he score before the start of the season? Sorry, like, it can't have been more than 10.
What, in the league last season, or including the last 2 years?
Both last seasons.
I mean, yeah,
It's probably about the same.
He got 7 last year, I think.
Yeah, 7 last year, and I think maybe 3 in the first season.
Yeah, but even still, I felt as if Wyke, as much as I will say that he offers us more than Grigg, I think aside from goals, he doesn't offer us as much as he could. Like, one thing I always see with strikers is, if you don't score a goal, at least contribute other things, whether it's you're holding the ball, you're chasing defenders down, you link up play, you're getting in behind, you're coming back, dropping back into the midfield. Like, Roberto Firmino is a perfect example for me, where he might not score a lot of goals, but Liverpool, I mean, up until the start of the season, when they signed Jota, were a completely different team without him in the team, and you know the other players wouldn't thrive as much. But sometimes I even think White doesn't even offer something along the lines of that, where you know, he's sluggish. He didn't win many headers. The only thing I really rated about White was his effort. But this season, he seems to have changed that, as well as his goal scoring. He seems to actually hold the ball up a lot better now, link up play. You know, he's able to come out wide with the ball and bring players into play a lot better. He seems to be a lot quicker and a lot fitter as well when he's chasing down defenders. So he's been brilliant so far this season. As for what do I think could have brought this on this season, I genuinely think it might be the lack of fans, where as much as he seems to be a bit of a cult hero among our fans, it can get you when you're making mistakes, and the fans are, you know, you know, it can get you, but maybe without the fans, he has a bit more freedom, and when he makes a mistake, it's not quite as bad. That's just something I'm throwing out there. You know, it's not to say that's definitely the case, but I think it could be. It's got to be something this season, because, as Dan said, he's a completely different player. The worlds apart, the Charlie Wyke of this season and last season, the season before.
Absolutely. I mean, first season he was with us, he was missing open goals and whatnot. Do you remember the Bristol Rovers away? Although we did win 2-0, Lewis Morgan squared him the ball, and he had basically had an open goal, and he just put it wide. I couldn't believe that. The thing is, if you
sounds familiar, really.
Yeah, if you sort of change the perspective and you think, well, actually, if Charlie Wyke was just a summer signing, by the summer gone, and he didn't have the last 2 years at the club, we'd be thinking, Christ almighty, Charlie Wyke, what a player he is, scoring nearly in every game, you know? I mean, but obviously we can't forget the last 2 years he's been with us, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what has happened to him, or why he's playing like this. And maybe it is the lack of fans. I think it's maybe benefited some players, and maybe it hasn't done great for some players. Probably benefited Charlie Wyke. I mean, Will Grigg, for example, I don't know what it is Will Grigg needs. No fans, he still can't do it. I don't know what he needs.
He needs to leave.
Needs to go.
He needs to go. That's what he needs. Yeah. But yeah, no. I mean, Charlie Wyke. I mean, he's just got that extra spring in his step. I think. I don't know what it is. He just seems like he's enjoying playing now a lot more, and he didn't before. But yeah, I mean, part of that could be scoring goals and the confidence you get from scoring goals. And I think in the first season he did have quite a lot of injuries. I think as soon as he joined the club, he was carrying an injury, so he couldn't play. And I think injury is probably a big part of a footballer's career. I mean, Duncan Watmore, for example, he was really good in the Premier League, got the ACL, wasn't the same player after that. He got another ACL injury. It's injuries do probably...
Doing well this season, though.
Yeah, he is. He got 2 for Middlesbrough, didn't he? That's mental. But yeah, I mean, maybe Sunderland wasn't the club for Duncan Watmore, and maybe Sunderland isn't the club for Will Grigg. So
hopefully, I mean, any way we can get rid of him.
Yeah, I mean, there's no room for him now, I don't think. But yeah, at least now I think we have what looks like it could be a goal scorer, and I think to get promoted out this league, I think we do need a goal scorer. Just like when Madger left, I think if Madger stayed first season, we could have got promoted. But yeah, so hopefully Wyke is the reason why we get promoted.
I wouldn't compare him to Madger yet.
No, we won't compare him to Madger yet.
I was going to say it.
No, but I'm just saying. I hope that he is a goal scorer at least.
Madger was on another level. Like, that guy could finish with any part of his body within like 18 yards of the goal. It didn't matter where he was, how the ball came from him, or what body part it was going in. Like,
oh no, amazing! Get 2-touch finish in the box, and the goal, it was going straight in, wasn't it? He was brilliant, and it's just a shame we've lost him now. But yeah, so Charlie Wyke, fantastic performance from him again. And I mean, quick word on the rest of the team. Dan, rest of the team, who stood out for you? I think Dan's frozen.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we've lost him.
It's fine. He'll come back in a minute. Jack, you start us off.
Yeah, he's likely to come back. Rest of the team. Well, to start from the back, Burge made 2 brilliant saves that kept us in the game. I think Burge has been quality this season as well. I think he's got the credit he deserves at times. I think that one mistake he made in the 3rd minute of the first game, a lot of people have stuck with that. You look at Matthews' mistakes when he's came in. I mean, there's no other option but to play Burge, and he's a decent keeper, and he kept us in the game. Saturday, defensively, we'll look a lot more assured now, playing 4 at the back. It's just that I think we've got technically figured out, and now that's working again. I mean, to keep a clean sheet against Lincoln, and as much as we got beat the Wigan, that was their only shot on target. I think we look a lot more defensively sound now with 4 at the back. The players maybe just know what they're doing a bit more. I would like to say Dion Sanderson come in maybe this with the COVID thing tonight. That might bring him in. If he's not one of the players, he might have to play. I think we're absolutely desperate to give him a shot. Like,
it's his birthday as well.
Yes, yeah. It is actually. Is it 21 today? I think
something like
that. What a birthday present it would be. Midfield, Grant Ledbetter has been absolutely fantastic this season. I made my thoughts clear a lot on Josh Scowen. He seems to. I don't know what it is about Scowen, but I mean, he's a defensive midfielder, but he seems to go forward a lot for us. But he can't do anything going forward. He scored that one header, but to me, every time he gets in and around the box, he just blizzes it over the bar. His crosses just aren't accurate. He kind of put power and accuracy on shots, and defensively, he's never there to cover us. A player who I think is criminally underrated for us. Yeah, Dan, I can see again. And I know Dan agrees with me on this one. Is George Dobson. As a lot of people know, I am the founder and one of the only members of the George Dobson Defence League. I just think our fans slate him. It doesn't matter what he does, he gets slated. But when he actually has a good game, there's no credit there. I think Dobson brings a lot of energy. He cuts out a lot of passes. I think he wins the ball back quite a lot. And I think provided you're not putting any pressure on him to go forward and create and distribute the ball effectively, you'll get the best out of him. I would really like to see him play just behind maybe 2 real attacking players, with just the sole purpose of winning the ball back and giving it to players who can create. And then going forward, obviously this season's probably been our main problem is scoring goals, but we scored 4 on Saturday, and that could be because of the introduction of Jack Diamond. Charlie White got a bit of confidence now. I don't think we're going to have that one player who we're going to rely on to score a goal in every game. But if you got 4 or 5 players who can score every few games, well, that's all you need, Dan. I can see you're desperate to get in there, so I'll let you get in.
The lineup's just come out, and do you want me to read it out?
Yeah, I've got it here as well. Yeah, if you want to read it out.
Just read it.
Lee Burge, Conor McLaughlin, Bailey Wright, George Dobson,
Yay!
Aidan O'Brien, Dion Sanderson, Elliot Embleton, Jack Diamond, Will Greer, Grant Lebeter, Callum McFadzean. Subs: Patterson, Willis, Gooch, Neil, Younger, Taylor, Curry.
So that's Dobson in for Scowen, O'Brien in for McGeady, Dion Sanderson in for Tom Flanagan, Elliot Embleton in for Max Power, Will Grigg in for Charlie White, I think. And then on the bench, I mean, God, there's the under-23s there, but hopefully it's a good opportunity for them.
I mean, there's about 10 defenders on the bench, isn't there? Yeah, I mean, you've got Willis, Taylor and Younger on the bench, yeah. So 3, not quite 10, but...
to make the numbers up, though, genuinely.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice to see Dan Neil on the bench. He's a player who Mitch Curry as well, to be fair. As much as I said there's no need to bring him in because of how well White's doing, I think Mitch Curry's a player who's probably earned his spot. Nice to see Dan Neil in as well. I think he can offer us something different to what the rest of the team can, well, especially in the position he's been coming in, which would be centre mid. Yeah,
absolutely. I think this could be a chance for some players to prove themselves tonight. And I think also after Saturday, I just want to say I think every Sunderland fan completely forgot that Aidan O'Brien still exists, because no one even mentioned him after the game. You know, they're like, who will we missing? We're missing Gooch, O'Nien. No one even said O'Brien. I think everyone just forgot that he existed. But yeah, no.
I mean, due to an unfortunate situation, he's got the chance to prove himself tonight.
Yeah.
He's got lucky, with what's happened, where I would imagine he'll be playing on the left of the front 3 with Grigg in the middle and Diamond on the right. If he has a good game tonight and if he gets a goal or maybe sets a goal up, what's to say that he won't then get the same chance Saturday? And it's the same with Dobson. If he has a great game tonight, is he going to drop him? It's the same with Dion Sanderson, who's been struggling to get a game, all season really. But there's the 3 players who've been struggling to get a game all season. Tonight's got to be their chance to prove themselves.
Absolutely. Yeah, completely agree with you, Jack. I mean, hopefully Mitch Curry comes on and spices things up. Anyway, so we got the... I feel like the manager now, obviously, he's just come into the club and he's getting problem after problem after problem. Now, he's obviously... This is another one. Obviously, the COVID stuff. But just a quick word on the manager, Lee Johnson, or should I say head coach. I mean, what do you think of him so far? What do you think of his ideas and what he says? We'll start with Dan.
Sir Lee Johnson, do you mean? I mean, what a guy! What a guy!
He certainly.
I love him already. He was definitely one of my favourite. I think I said just behind Pearson, Ken Phillips, but that was never going to happen. I said that. But yeah, I love him. I love his energy. I love how real he is. He doesn't chat any rubbish. He says how it is. And say we play bad or we lose a game, I know he's going to come out and say, he's going to admit and he's going to take responsibility, and that's all you want. He's honest, and he's just. I'm really liking him so far. He's only been there 2 games, so we won't get too carried away yet. But hopefully he's the man, and I think he probably will be the man. Hopefully, but time will tell.
A key thing for me is that he just speaks the truth, and if we go wrong, he's not afraid to admit it. But I know Jack Dodds was devastated that Lee Johnson was appointed, because I know you really wanted Kevin Phillips, didn't you?
Oh yeah, that was
Kevin
Phillips. I was parading around the town. Honestly, absolutely. No, I was really pleased when we appointed him. He would have been, admittedly, he wouldn't have been my first choice. I think he would probably be my 3rd choice in reality. But when he got appointed, I did a bit of research and I thought we've got someone who's got a good history there. When I was speaking to Gary Bennett on my show, we got quite heated.
I watched that. Yeah, I watched that. Yeah, your comebacks were quite good, to be fair. I was giving you credit. I was clapping my hands. I was like, that's very good.
I felt a bit. I said, "Oh, it was a weird situation to be in." I thought, like, you know, there's me, you know, someone who's been doing a podcast for a few weeks, and he's a man who played for Sunderland for 11 years. He's got the fifth most appearances for us ever. He's played at Man City and Cardiff before us. He's been a manager at a club down the road, and now he's been reported on the games that I think for probably not too short of my lifetime, really. Or if he's been there at the same time as Nick Barnes has, anyway. So I felt weird, but yeah. Anyway, but back to the point. I think if you look at his what he's done so far in his career, I don't think we could have got anyone better. Or there are probably not many people who've got a better history than he has. And you look at the job that he did at Oldham and Bristol. Barnsley wasn't fantastic, but it was a bit up and down, I think. But the two other clubs he's been at, he's been absolutely fantastic. And as you say, for me, it's his honesty, it's his charisma. You know, when we won 4-0, he was talking about there's room for improvement. Like, that's the type of manager you want. Under Parkinson, we could lose 2-0 to the worst team in the league, and he would be plucking positives out, saying we moved the ball well, or he'd be trying to find excuses. Lee Johnson doesn't do that. He takes responsibility, and he really thinks, well, how can I get better as a team? And what is it that we need to do to go forward? So I've really been impressed by him. You never get a second chance to make a first impression, and he's absolutely nailed it for me. Like, and I'm really, really looking forward to seeing how we're going to play. I'm looking forward now. Every game, how we're going to play. I'm looking forward to tonight. I'm looking forward to Saturday to see what's going to be different, how we're going to improve already, because we improve every game under Lee Johnson. So I'm already looking forward to thinking, well, what we're going to see that we didn't say on Saturday, that's going to be different and better. Honestly, I'm really, really looking forward to the next 8 to 10 games and seeing how much better we can get and how much we're going to change as a team.
Exactly. I mean, obviously, a key thing as well I keep saying is that he just doesn't make excuses. He certainly knows where he's gone wrong, and he's going to say, I will make mistakes like every human being does. But yeah, I mean, Parkinson, man, just the excuses, honestly. Like, yeah, again, could lose like 2-0 and be like, well, my cat died yesterday and whatever, or I don't know, something stupid like that.
I know what you mean.
I hated that. It was just everyone, like, I mean, on Twitter, like the people in like the comments, they'd be like, what is this guy on? Like, what do you mean we passed the ball well? We couldn't even beat, like what, Fleetwood or whoever else beat MK Dons. We lost to MK Dons. Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, there's barely any positives to take from losing to MK Dons and failing to beat Rochdale. But he would say things like, "We'll move the ball well." It was the Rochdale game. He said,
"The Rochdale." That's what I was about to say. Yeah.
Even though the two centre midfielders, whose job it is to predominantly pass the ball, were the two worst players in the pitch.
I know, it was ridiculous.
We had good spells. He liked that one as well. We were good at this. We were good in areas.
Yeah, we were good in areas. Yeah, that was another one of their points.
Yeah. Good. But I mean, to be fair though, sort of towards the end of last season, I mean, like sort of February time last year, I thought Parkinson had it.
That's why I stuck with
Parkinson had it.
Same, and that's why I stuck with him, and I was so resilient with being Parky in. It wasn't until the Fleetwood game that I was actually Parky out, really. Or rather, I was probably on the fence, if anything. But like as I say, like I thought he'd figured it out, and I thought we had a real system. And even the start of this season, we're doing well. I think people forget how well we did now in those first kind of 6 to 10 games. If you exclude Bristol Rovers, there wasn't many results in there that you would take out and want to change, really.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I think it was sort of last season. It's when we played Fleetwood at home, because I remember when we were at we played Oxford away last season and we won that game 1-0. And I didn't even think we were going to win that. I thought we were going to draw it 1-1 at best. But after we won it, and I think we beat Bristol Rovers at home, I was at that game. And I remember thinking after that game, I remember what I did after that game. I went bowling in Sunderland and I went to Nando's. I had a lovely Nando's and I was sitting there having my Nando's and I just thought, do you know what? I'm so confident we're going up.
Yeah.
After that game, I was like, we are going up. I don't even care. We are going up. And then we played Fleetwood.
Was that the Oxford game?
No, we played Oxford away, and then on the next week we played Bristol Rovers at home.
I was the same. Honestly, I thought Championship was calling, and that was it. We were just going to finish the season and we've been playing and go up in the top two.
Yeah, it's so disappointing. I mean, how football goes, really. How, you can go from playing really well to then just, getting rid of the manager straight away. But I think people were saying on Twitter after the 4-0 against Lincoln, they'll be like, well, don't get too carried away because Phil Parkinson's second game was 5-0 against Tranmere. But the thing is that
Tranmere though,
look at where Tranmere was in the league.
we're nearly bottom.
I know, and like Lincoln was second in the league. So, I think it's
There's levels to this game.
Yeah, and again, I think what a lot of fans also said was that performance against Tranmere, it was very similar to how Jack Ross played. But I think what we saw against Lincoln is that Lee Johnson's system was completely different to Phil Parkinson's.
Opposite, yeah.
So that's good. But on Saturday as well, fucking hell, we did win 4-0, right? But also there was a report. What newspaper was it? The Daily Mail or whatever. They reported Sunderland's going into administration or something like that.
Yeah, Jim Rodwell denied all rumours of that when he spoke. I think Alan Nixon. He spoke to someone. He just said, "Oh no, that it's just rumours."
Yeah, I think it all came from because Jim Rodwell did an interview with Nick Barnes after the game, and I listened to it. And what he said was that the club were at an EFL meeting last week, and what they said is they didn't say they're going into administration or whatever, but they just said obviously we're losing like £1 million a month or whatever, and we're struggling financially. Obviously with no fans in because Sunderland's being run like a lower league club, like all the same. So we are struggling, but obviously we're not near administration. I think someone has taken that the wrong way. But that would be devastating, wouldn't it?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, so we wouldn't want that to happen. And one more thing I just want to touch on before we wrap it up and we go watch the game. At the moment, it's very big. It's been going on for a very long while. And it's not something I really like to talk about, but it sort of has to be spoken about, is sort of the ownership right now. It's been dragged out for a long time. But Dan, what's going on in your head when you're hearing all these rumours about a change of hands or takeover?
I don't believe anything. I don't believe any rumours until I see it done. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So for me, I just think I don't think much will change anytime soon. So for me, I'll just concentrate on the football side of things. I'm not really as focused on that because I don't know what to believe. There's so many things we've made. There's so many sources, and it's just a lot of it's fake news and a lot of it might be real. But you just have to wait and see what the club says because that's the legit source at the end of the day.
Yeah, Jack?
I don't believe anything until I've seen it with takeovers. I wait until the club make an official announcement and say, we are being taken over. I mean, I was talking to William Story the other day, and he was saying that the board are just denying the truth from fans and something like that. And then obviously there's the other side of it that we could be getting taken over by Louis Dreyfus and co, or that would be rather a reshuffling of the pack where Donald and Methven lose their majority shareholder status. I mean, look, it's clear that Stuart Donald and Charlie Methven aren't fit to run this football club, or rather they aren't fit to own it. Fit to run it, probably, yeah, maybe, but they aren't fit to run this football club. They haven't got the money. They don't know how to. They haven't got the capacity to run this football club. So the sooner we get them out, the better. But of course, and this is my exact argument with Parkinson actually was, we need to make sure we're getting someone better. We need to make sure that Louis Dreyfus, William Story, whoever it is that comes in as a majority shareholder, actually is an improvement on the minutes and just anyone. But as I say, I'm not going to believe anything until I've seen it. I feel as if a lot of people will go on and on and on and on and on when there'll be a rumour that there's been a breakthrough or whatever, only for then 24 hours to be released that, oh no, it hasn't gone through. I mean, Matthew, you said that you met someone who's involved with the club, Peterborough away or something, sitting and said, oh, the edit table was done. And it's like well over a year since, and like just nothing happened. Yeah.
I mean, he was very confident. He was very, very confident that takeover was going to go through, and a few weeks later, he stepped down as director. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. So I don't believe in anything until I've seen it. But of course, the better they go at the football club, the sooner they get at the football club, the better. But as I say, we need to make sure that we're getting someone in who can adequately own us as a football club, as opposed to what they were doing.
I think the three people that were thinking of coming in obviously have FPP, the Dell people, Obviously Louis Dreyfus and his friends, and then William Storey and his 5 Premier League players. So if you had a choice of them, not now, Dad. Not now, Dad. Thank you. If you had a choice of the 3 owners, who would you choose?
If I had a choice up with those 3, William Storey, Louis, you say William Storey, Louis Dreyfus, or the current owners?
Well, yeah, no, so yeah.
I don't really know anything about them, so I can't really say. If I had to take a wild punt, probably William Storey, because he has loads of money, and he does seem to have a real affiliation with Sunderland. But I don't really know anything about them, so I don't think I can comment.
Yeah, I mean, he has an obsession, doesn't he? Seems like it. Dan, I know. Thing is, me and Dan have spoken about this before, and I quite like William's story. And I know there was a report of him having only £500 in his bank account. But the thing is that he says he's got all of these people backing him. And I think he's just going to sort of be the owner and chairman, but he's going to have all these people backing him. But Dan, what would you say? Your choice.
Not William's Storey for me. I'd rather not get anyone than him. I don't believe a word he says. I think he's a brilliant con man, in my opinion. But if he does take over, I wish him all the best, you know. I hope he is real if he does take over. But for me, I'd pick Louis Dreyfus because he's a billionaire, and I'd rather have a clueless billionaire than a clueless millionaire.
The thing is just with Dreyfus coming in, right? He's still going to have Meth, Finn and Donald at the club. And I think this is why it's taken so long, because Donald wants, his little percentage in there. He wants to be in there. He doesn't want to leave, He's
not going anywhere, though. He's not going anywhere. Donald is not going anywhere.
I wouldn't mind if Donald and Meth, Finn were to stay as chairman or directors or something. I actually really rate the job that Charlie Methven's done since he's came in. I think some of the things he's done has not been given credit for, and people look at his personality and judge him on that as opposed to the work he's actually got done in the club. I agree. I think if you look at the Netflix documentary, people like to give him a hard time over it, but in reality, surely you want someone running your football club. A lot of people make a big thing about his arrogance or whatever, and the way he spoke. There was that lass from Northern Ireland or Ireland or somewhere who ended up leaving. But she was incompetent. She was getting paid a salary to do a job, and she wasn't good enough to do the job. And that was the case with so many people at the club. They came in and decided to change that. So I wouldn't mind seeing them stay on as chief executives or whatever, whatever technical role you want to call it. But in terms of owners, I don't trust them as people to have an ownership in our club, because I think they will always have it in the back of the mind of, like, let's make sure this works out best for us, which is fair. That you can't have any problem with people doing what's best for them and their family. But I don't want them owning the club, because I don't trust them to own it. But I do rate the job they've done as a chairman and a chief executive. I believe the titles are. I would, and obviously Stuart Donald step down as chairman, but I wouldn't mind keeping them on the board or whatever, because I think actually the job that Charlie Methven, especially, but Stuart Donald, have also done in terms of turning the club around, making us financially sound, getting the fans back on board, getting a bit of atmosphere about the place, has been criminally underrated. And people will look at certain few things, for example, Charlie Methven's personality and arrogance problem, whatever that he has, that'll cloud their judgment, and they'll view him through a certain lens, when actually the job he's done has been really respectable.
I think if they didn't love Sunderland, they'd be gone by now. They would have accepted the money from William Storey. All right, 45 million. All right, we'll have that. All you richest man in Ireland, the 5 Premier League players. I don't know where you're coming from, but you're in. Everyone in.
Somalia as well, isn't it? Something like that.
It's what, sorry?
Somalia as well, or something like Singapore.
I don't know. He's got like really rich friends. I don't know, but if they didn't love the club, then they'd be out by now. And to be honest with you, I want them out. Honestly, if I had enough money, I'd just say, right, here's all this money, and all of you get out now. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm just they haven't sold the club yet because they still want to be there in some capacity. You know, and this is why it's taken them so long to sort out this deal. Because, you know, as William Story could say, if they just accepted his deal, he could be in immediately. You know, because apparently he's passed the tests and whatever. So I'm not too clued up on all this takeover stuff and what you have to do. I'm just speaking from a fan's perspective. But for me, I'd like to have William Story at the club. He's at first I thought, who is this man? Like, go away. He has some sort of weird obsession, but I think how passionately he just speaks. I mean, he was on.
Just wait till Sean hears you say that, Matthew.
I mean, it's like he was on Look North, and he was just like, he was so adamant. You know, he was just like, I've offered all this money, and I'm still not the owner or whatever. You know, I don't know when it was, Stuart Donald back in the summer, he said, if someone comes along and offers us 37.5 million, they can have a club. I think that's what he said. I think he even made a point in the Red and White Army meeting that he said, if enough fans like put in all this money, they can buy the club themselves. I think that's what he said as well. But obviously that he maybe hasn't gone through on that with his word because he saw Louis Dreyfus now come in.
Yeah. I can talk a good talk sometimes about things, but when actually something's in front of you, like, doesn't always work that way. You know what I mean? Like, and I think, you know, it's all well and good saying 37.5 million will sell the club until someone actually says, all right, 37.5 million, here you go. You might then actually realise, no, I don't want to sell the football club no matter how much money you give us, or actually I'm going to need more than that to sell you it. So, you know, I think he might have. I think someone could have offered him that, but as I say, you know, a lot of people talk a good talk, but as soon as it comes down to it,
know.
You know what? I think he's breaking up again.
Honest.
Go on, Dan. Say that again. Say it again.
I was just going to say, we don't know who's telling the truth. Like, William Story could be telling the truth. Stuart Donald could be telling the truth. They could both be lying. One of them could be. You know, you just don't know what to believe. So, yeah, it's just so dodgy, the situation.
I mean, William Story could literally have not even put a bid in for all we know. Like, for all we know, he might not even.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Suddenly, he might just be doing it for the crack or to promote his energy company. Like, we know, like, you just don't know because the club have never endorsed his bid publicly or anything like that. So, I think if there's some dishonesty going on from either party, and it's just figuring out which one it is, but I don't think you can put your finger on that.
It'd be interesting to have him as the owner because he doesn't believe in the coronavirus.
Time will tell.
He'd probably try and like get all the Sunderland fans and cram them into the Stadium of Light, and will end up being like liquidated as a punishment or something like that. So he'd probably do something stupid like that. But the thing is I feel like William Story. I sort of like what he says, and I wouldn't mind him at the club personally myself. But I think it's not all about him. It's not all about Stuart Donald. It's not all about Charlie Methven. It's not all about Louis, Cyril, Dreyfus, Juan Sartori and whatnot. I tell you who it's about. It's about those players wearing that red and white shirt on the pitch. That's who it's about.
Yes.
That's why I support the club. I don't support the club to hear about all this millionaire, billionaire business. You know, I support the club to watch the team on the pitch. You know, and that's the way it should be. So, you know, I just want the club to be safe. I don't want any financial trouble. But if that means Donald is going to stay, and I just want this club to be successful. That's all we ever want at the end of the day.
Yeah.
We can have different opinions, but we all want the same thing. But yeah, no, lads, I think we've pretty much covered everything I had planned today and probably more.
Predictions.
Yeah, on predictions. This will probably go up after the game anyway. Because I don't think I'll have time to try and cut any certain bits of the thing out to get it up in time. But yeah, no, go on then. Just give us your...
Like when your dad came in.
Yeah, he came in without...
that I've said now, actually, won't you?
Oh, no, it doesn't matter. Go on then.
I'm going 2-1 to the lads.
You do know Wimbledon have conceded 9 goals in the last 2 games. And... So I hope
but you do realise that Will Grigg and Aidan O'Brien are playing. So
your defence is terrified.
Dan makes a fair point.
Go on, Jack. What's your prediction?
Well, I can't remember what I said on my podcast. I think I said 2-0 to us. Whatever I said on that, I think I said 2-0 to us, and I'll stick with that.
All right, and I'm going to say 4-0 to the lads. So, thank you very much.
Who's getting those 4 goals out of that team, Matthew?
It's going to be Will Grigg, and Will Grigg.
Right, well, you've got
so
already.
Good.
He's only scored 8 goals the entire time. He's not
If
going
he
to
does that, mate.
add another 50% onto that in one night.
Yeah.
What's he do that now?
That's what he's going to do this game, and then he's going to turn his Sunderland career around in this next 90 minutes. All right, then anyway, right. What I'm saying, thank you very much for everyone for watching. It's been probably one of my favourite ones we've ever done.
Oh, I wonder why.
Yeah, no, because you're here, Jack. That's why.
Of course.
No, thank you very much for watching. I'll certainly leave Jack's Red and White podcast link in the description, along with all of their socials, so you can go slide tackling into their DMs.
I could do with that, actually.
And keep them entertained. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the Fans React channel, and away the lads.
Away.